The Las Vegas Raiders have made a lot of good moves so far in this free agency period, and I love it. They signed Gardner Minshew to a 2-year deal, and Gardner Minshew is a very solid quarterback in the NFL. Now, he's not going to be a top 15 starter in the NFL, but 15 passing touchdowns and 9 interceptions with the Indianapolis Colts, that is very good numbers for Gardner Minshew. Gardner Minshew was just a play away from getting the Indianapolis Colts into the NFL playoffs. And you look at what the Las Vegas Raiders have. You have Davante Adams. You no longer have Josh Jacobs. He went to the Green Bay Packers. And Josh Jacobs had a down year this year after he just led the league in rushing. And I love what the Las Vegas Raiders have done. They're going to go with Zamir White at that running back spot to be running back number 1, and expect for this team to possibly go out there and draft a running back in rounds 3 through 7. That's a real possibility because they can still draft a quarterback in the first round, or they can develop Aiden O'Connell. Now, I came on here a couple of days ago and I said that they had a massive quarterback crisis, and they did. You only had Aiden O'Connell and Jimmy Garoppolo on the roster. And if you remember, Aiden O'Connell showed a lot of good moments in the last 2 to 3 games of the season. Just because they signed Gardner Minshew does not mean that he's going to be the starting quarterback for this upcoming season. I know that some people are down right now because they wanted this team to trade with Justin Fields. I love this move with going with Gardner Minshew. It came out of left field. I thought that they were going to go out there and talk with a guy like a Russell Wilson, try to get him with this team. But they went out there and they say, hey, let's go get Gardner Minshew and let's have him be in competition with Aiden O'Connell. And he can help develop Aiden O'Connell. Gardner Minshew has been in that role before. He was just in that role with the Indianapolis Colts with Anthony Richardson. I think that Aiden O'Connell, if you give him enough time, he could be a solid quarterback with this team. But having Gardner Minshew out there to push his kid and to be an emergency quarterback just in case things do not work out, Aiden O'Connell, that's A-okay with me. And you could possibly still go out there and draft a quarterback in the first round or in the second round if one of those guys fall down to you. But I look at what the Las Vegas Raiders are doing right now. They're building through the trenches. Before I get into the defense and when they signed Christian Wilkins, I do want to talk more about this offense. Aiden O'Connell did not have the best numbers in the world, but this is a kid that was put into a tough situation. Josh McDaniels was the former head coach of this team, and he was also the main offensive play caller, and they used his playbook. He got fired at the halfway point in the season. Antonio Pierce comes in. They go 5-4. Why am I bringing this up? Aiden O'Connell did not get first-team reps with Davante Adams. He did not get first-team reps with Jacoby Myers. So let's give this kid some time, and let's go out there and give him some grace as well. Because for him to go out there and be put in that tough situation that he was put into, he played very well. In my opinion, he did. Now, this is a kid that has great touch. He has good anticipation, especially in the red zone. I like what Aiden O'Connell has done in the past. I just do not believe right now, looking at him, that he can be a consistent starter for the entire season. And I hope that I am wrong about that. But it's a short sample size. You have the key weapons with this kid. You also have a brand new starting running back in Zamir White. We can go back to that Kansas City Chiefs game. The defense balled out in that game, but the run game balled out as well. Josh Jacobs is no longer with this team. He had a down year this year after leading the league in rushing. He is now with the Green Bay Packers. But Zamir White came in against the Kansas City Chiefs, and he ran wild. He has potential to be a number 1 running back in the NFL, and I expect for him to be the best running back on the Las Vegas Raiders. Expect for this team to go out there through free agency and talk to a free agent running back to bring them in, or to also go out there and draft a running back as well. I think the offensive line could use another tackle as well, because Colton Miller has shown over the last couple of seasons he could be a true consistent starting tackle in the NFL, and I love his game. It just comes down to, can Aiden O'Connell or Gardner Minshew be good enough to get them to the playoffs? Because you look at their defense. Their defense went out there and they did a number on Patrick Mahomes. That was not a fluke. This defense is legit with Max Crosby. Max Crosby has been one of the best defensive ends in the NFL for the last couple of years, and he deserves to get his flowers. This guy is supposed to be in Defensive Player of the Year conversations every single year. 14.5 sacks on the season, 2 forced fumbles. And you go out there and you pair him with Christian Wilkins, who had 9 sacks on the season and 1 forced fumble. This is a guy that is more so known for being a defensive tackle, but in the past he's played some edge rusher as well. It's rare, but he is known for being one of the best interior linemen in the NFL. You may have went out there and you may have overpaid him, but it doesn't matter. You give Max Crosby another guy that can go out there and can push the pocket. And do not sleep on Malcolm Kuntz either. He had 8 sacks this season. And this is when things get a little interesting. Chandler Jones was supposed to be the starting pass rusher with this team, and you're supposed to give Tyree Wilson a lot of those reps in terms of just coming in and cleaning up and getting those secondary reps. That did not work out. Chandler Jones had a lot of issues going on off the field. You bring in Tyree Wilson to be the starting defensive end for a couple of games. It didn't work out. But in the later half of the season, he had 3.5 sacks and 1 forced fumble. Right now, he does not look particularly well in terms of being a star pass rusher, but he could be a very good pass rusher moving forward with this team. You have him, Malcolm Kuntz, and then you also have Mad Max Crosby as well with Christian Wilkins. I like what they're building right now with the Las Vegas Raiders on the defensive side of the ball. They're going to go out there and going to try to get Patrick Mahomes as much as possible. You look at the Denver Broncos. That team is truly rebuilding. They cut Russell Wilson. They cut Justin Simmons, and they also traded Jerry Jeudy as well. That team is rebuilding, so I would take them out the fold. The Los Angeles Chargers, they're rebuilding right now with Coach Harbaugh. That's going to be a tough team to beat, but the biggest test for the Las Vegas Raiders would be the Kansas City Chiefs. And you look at the defense right now. They're equipped to go out there and give Patrick Mahomes a lot of problems, and no way am I saying that the Las Vegas Raiders are going to be favored to win this division for this upcoming season, but they're going to be a tough team to beat. It's giving Antonio Pierce a fair shot, and it's giving him a chance, and I love that. Because the last couple of years, the Raiders have not done that. They have fired coaches, guys like Gruden. He flamed out because of some things I was sent to an email. Then you had Rich Bisaccia, who came in, got this team to the NFL playoffs. They moved off of him for a guy like Josh McDaniels. It didn't work out. I really hope that Antonio Pierce can be the right coach with this team. You do have Luke Getsy as an offensive coordinator. We will see how good he can be. This team was in talks or trying to bring in a guy like Cliff Kingsbury. I think that was a blessing in disguise. I'm not the biggest Cliff Kingsbury fan. I think that Luke Getsy is a better NFL offensive mind than a Cliff Kingsbury, but we will see what he'll be able to do with a guy like Aiden O'Connell or Gardner Minshew. But it's a win-win. You could still go up in the NFL draft. You could trade up for a guy like a Jaden Daniels, but you may not have to do that right now. If you have Gardner Minshew, who we know he can come in for a couple of games and he can win some football games, you continue to develop Aiden O'Connell and see if something's there, you can be in a very good situation. And you still have Devontae Adams. You still have Jacoby Myers, 2 very good wide receivers. Devontae Adams had over 1,000 yards receiving this season, and he is still one of the best wide receivers in the game. Jacoby Myers came over and looked good with Josh McDaniels and looked even better when Josh McDaniels got fired. He had 807 receiving yards on the season and 8 receiving touchdowns. And you look at Michael Mayer, did not have that major production that you were looking for this season from a guy from Notre Dame, but he did have 304 receiving yards and 2 receiving touchdowns. I think that he could be a star tight end with this team. I've said this once before. You put another tackle with this team, and you build up that offensive line, you could run that football with Zamir White, and you have Aiden O'Connell and Gardner Minshew, anything is possible. This team could possibly go out there and win 8 to 9 games or even more than that. But let me know in the comment section below how you guys feel about the Las Vegas Raiders right now, and are they building something special with Antonio Pierce? If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. If you like the video, hit the like button. Most importantly, want each and every last one, guys, stay safe, stay positive. Thanks for watching the video, guys. God bless. Peace.